I'll be attending Columbia Chicago College in the fall. I'm representing the Fort Worth Tarrant County branch of the NAACP, and I will be performing a monologue from the play 7 Minutes in Heaven, written by Stephen Levinson, portraying the character of Phoebe. Now has a scar. It's tiny, and you can't even really see it unless you knew it was there and you were looking for it. It's from chicken pox, and it's a tiny dot on his left temple, like somebody stamped him with a dot when he was born so that they would always be able to find him. You see, my dad quit his job when I was like 10 to figure out what he really wanted to do. And it started to look like what he really wanted to do was watch TV in his boxers and drink Diet Right. My mom would come home at like 7 and I'd be in my room and they'd fight. My mom would yell and my dad would cry, and then my dad would yell and my mom would cry. And then my dad would curl himself up in a ball, rocking himself back and forth, saying the word please over and over until it didn't even sound like a word anymore, but more like a sound that an animal might make. And I used to sit in my closet on a pile of dirty clothes and just pretend that I wasn't really there, or that somebody far, far away was dreaming me. And what happens when they wake up? Sometimes my mom would leave for a few hours or a few days. And sometimes my dad would apologize and they'd make up and we all had dinner together and dad put pants on, and those times, I remember those times were the worst. And then sometimes I would just take my fingernail and stretch it across my chest very slowly so that an inch of blood would begin to pool into my shirt, and I didn't cry. I did not cry. I felt alone and emptied out and like maybe I would never die. So even if I did, and then my mom would leave the room and my dad would say, love isn't free, Betsy, it costs you. It always costs you, it always costs you, because it always costs you. Thank you.